All right, family, we will be tapping into the greatest Michael Jordan story. And if you're here, it's because you want to know the truth. And you want to know if this video conveys MJ in the best way and the truest light. But in the comments, timestamp it.
Hello?
All right, without further ado, Lockbox Nation, we're live. Shout out to the subs who always show love. Let's lock in.
In NBA history. While he had numerous friendships across the league, it was often revealed that he would strategize against his friends during games, with Charles Barkley being a notable example. All-Star Weekend, however, was a different story. Since the game had no 6 All-Star game, MJ gave us another classic GOAT moment. Here's Penny talking on this incident at the Knuckleheads podcast.
MJ, I'm getting ready to be announced. He started moving closer to me. I'm like, MJ, you know you're going last, bro. What you coming over here for? Like, you know you ain't about to, I'm not going after you. So what you doing? I didn't know what he was doing. He just kept inching, like he was sitting closer. I guess he had already told Scotty or somebody, I'm about to do the snap off or whatever. Bro, I walk out.
Jordan is widely regarded as one of the most competitive players in NBA history. While he had numerous friendships across the league, it was often revealed that he would strategize against his friends during games, with Charles Barkley being a notable example. All-Star Weekend, however, was a different story. Since the game had no stakes and was purely an exhibition.
Bro, back in the day, they didn't have no saturation in those jersey colors, man. Them colors is bland.
For the fans, there was no need for strategic planning. Jordan understood this, and right before the 1996 All-Star game, MJ gave us another classic GOAT moment. Here's Penny talking on this incident at the Knuckleheads podcast.
I'm getting ready to be announced. He started moving closer to me. I'm like, you know you're going last, bro. What you coming over here for? Like, you know you ain't about to, I'm not going after you. So what you doing? I didn't know what he was doing. He just kept inching, like he was sitting closer. I guess he had already told Scotty or somebody, I'm about to do the snap off or whatever. Bro, I walk out and he snapped them Jones and I had to hold my pants and I looked back, he's just laughing like, but I'm like, hey man, that was an ultimate compliment to me because that made me feel like, you know, that he was like, he respected me and who I was.
Here's MJ during the game when he was asked about that moment.
Well, I've done it a couple of years. I did it to Joe Dumars one year, but it all started when someone did it to me my first couple of years. So I decided to pass it along.
The 2022 All-Star Weekend in Cleveland.
Hey, man. What they say? The abusers.
Was a big celebration for the NBA's 75th anniversary. One of the highlights was honoring the 75 greatest players of all time. For Damian Lillard, the weekend felt unreal as he got to be around so many basketball legends. But for Lillard, the best part wasn't all of that. It was when Michael Jordan finally showed up.
We walk out of the room where we take the big picture. And when we walk out, it's like all these cameras like this. You know what I mean? There's so many stars and all these legends in here. And when we get in the hallway, you see MJ walking towards us. He wasn't even in there he just got there. So he's walking and there's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us. And it was like, that's when you really saw the difference of like.
So why do so many homes in Collin County need a flooring replacement?
Yeah. Like when he was walking, everybody was just staring at him. Yeah. Like even all the people that was
like the top 75 looking at him.
The 74 was looking at him like he was walking up. He walked up. It was like he just took over
I know
the whole situation.
Was that your first time meeting him? Because before you said you hadn't met Mike before.
I still ain't never met him.
You just looked.
Hey, the Jordans. It different, man.
I was standing next to Clyde and I just was staring at him like, because all the lights was on him and it was just like, man, that's Jordan. Like,
he's glowing.
I'm looking at him like his arms and his hands. Like, I'm just looking at him like, damn. I ain't say nothing to him. Then they lined us up and we all walked out. The whole time I ain't say nothing. I'm just looking like, damn. I was looking around at everybody, but like when he came out, it was like unreal.
Yeah. That was how
loud it was, how everybody like, if you looked around the arena, it was nothing but stars there.
Yeah, right.
Like we would all recognize these people as stars and how they even was looking at them was like, they felt small too. You know what I mean? Like everybody was just like, it's Jordan.
Another legend that was in.
When greatness rises to a pinnacle where it is recognized by the previous fathers of greatness in a sport.
By Jordan that night was the great D. Wade. On an episode of Carmelo Anthony's podcast, Wade, among the players on the anniversary team, shared one moment that stood out for him as he first noticed MJ.
When he walked through.
Just aura, that's it.
Everything changed. Do you know what the coolest person walking in the room?
You cool until cool.
Silence. Everybody's like, okay.
From the tunnel.
Right away. Stop it.
He's bust your ass. Like he's sizing everybody up.
You saw the clip with him and Magic that went viral, right?
Yeah. That's the old dog right there. That's the old dog. We go play one-on-one, me and you right now.
That was right away. And that's the moment I was just sitting there and I'm like, I'm listening to Jordan and Magic talk shit.
Really talk shit though.
Yo. Like, put your sneaks on, let's go right now. And I'm like,
I'll tear your ass up right now.
Oh, they serious.
Meta Sandiford.
Bro, they got enough money to have a court on site.
Test, previously legally named Meta World Peace, is one of the most fearless and dynamic players in NBA history. Known for his relentless defense and physical style of play, Meta earned an NBA championship in 2010 with the Los Angeles Lakers and was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2004. We've already heard the story about Meta breaking Jordan's ribs during MJ's comeback attempt in the 2001 summer. But recently, Meta shared some new details about that incident.
I played against Mike for the first time in the summertime when I accidentally broke his rib. In the summertime, Mike go hard everywhere. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So Mike, I was 19. I don't think he realized how strong I was coming in. He was posting up. And I was like denying fundamental on this side and three-quarter. I just moved his arm out the way, light work. And then my elbow hit him in the ribs, cracked his ribs. And then so I broke his rib accidentally. He called me and said, don't worry about it, young fella. I know what they say in the media, but I want you to come back. And then, and then to play against him in the season, if you look at the pictures online, we always tangled up. If you look at me and Mike, Wizards versus the Bulls, that's how we played every day.
Hey, Mike wanted him like a sparring partner in boxing.
So it wasn't a thing where I was in awe. Like Mike just missed to meet Mike 3 times on the court in Chicago a lot of times. Then he invited me to his office in Chicago. That was I got a chance to sit with Mike.
That must have been cool.
Man, that's incredible, man. You kidding me? Yeah, I was in the office. He had a little poster when he hit the game winner. He was talking about the poster. He said, you see their face? He said, it's not the shot. He said, look at their face. And then the last time I spoke to him was to Brawl. He was the only player to call me.
Really?
Yep, Mike MJ, man. I remember the call. He was like, I'm going to try to get you back. So when he said, I'm going to get back, oh, shit. I'm like, all right. It don't even matter. February, March, good. MJ, you ain't that powerful, man. He only had one Jordan player at the time. Only one person could wear Jordan on the team. I don't know if you remember. So I said, yo, I'm playing against MJ. I need the Jordans. I was wearing Nike. I said, I need them Jordans. He was like, nah, Reggie Miller wearing the Jordans. I said, Reggie, can you tell these dudes to give me some Jordans? He's like, nah, you can't get Jordans. So I drove after shoot around, drove to Chicago, 2 hours ride, 3 hour ride. Went to the Nike store, bought some Jordans.
Really?
Drove back. Yeah, you'll see Jordans on my feet playing against. I'm not going to play against MJ without Jordans. Y'all crazy. Nike, y'all crazy, man. Just send me the Jordans.
The host of the podcast, Byron Scott, is a 3-time NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers during their Showtime era in the 1980s. Having played against MJ in his prime, Scott shares just how ruthless the GOAT was on the court.
MJ had a different mindset than any player I've ever played against. MJ had and Kobe's the closest to it.
Yeah, Kobe's
MJ had I'm going to destroy you on the basketball court. I'm going to beat you so bad you don't want to see me the next time you play.
100%.
Yeah, that was his mindset.
100%.
Okay, so who had the better mindset? Was it Kobe, Jordan, LeBron? You tell me. Drop it in the comments. Yeah, I know the debate is going on.
I beg your pardon.
Is it even a debate anymore?
When you say, you throw LeBron in, definitely. Because MJ wanted to destroy you, but he loved that smoke. Like you said, you could guard him. He got nothing but mad respect. You can't guard him, but you give him hell,
yeah,
he got nothing but mad respect for you. You know what I'm saying?
And his defense was incredible.
Man, Black Cat was off the chain.
Because when I was a kid, I would watch MJ. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that on offense. But his defense, I'm like, hold on, this guy's an incredible defender.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want to be like that on defense. So that was one of the inspirations on defense. It wasn't even really I never aspired to be like him on offense.
The 1995 NBA Eastern Conference semifinals featured the Magic facing off against the Bulls, marking Michael Jordan's return to playoff action after his 1993 retirement. However, the time away from basketball had seemingly taken a toll on MJ's sharpness, and it showed on the floor as the Magic won Game 1. Riding high on the win, Magic guard Nick Anderson confidently quipped, 45 strong, broke down those events.
I did not know Nick Anderson said he wasn't the thing. 45 is not 23.
Oh, Lord. I would say, man, y'all, you don't shut the fuck up. What is you don't get this man no field. What did you do?
So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. Jordan's trainer, like, when you want to start? He said, tomorrow, lifting weights. And he said, he kept thinking it was Orlando. Man, they played us it was Shaq last time in Orlando. They played us, they swept us. I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. Harkin did put his head down and just laugh. It was on the free throw line right in front of him. God, he was talking shit.
Don't poke the bear.
Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And we was like, what the fuck you doing, Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. He left 45 on the scoreboard.
In the 90s, being an NBA player meant competing in the shadow of the Bulls' unmatched dominance, led by MJ. From intense practices to MJ's alleged mind games, the Bulls did whatever it took to win 6 NBA titles. Not everyone viewed Jordan's approach positively. Nick's coach at the time, Jeff
That Jordan mentality, it might be different, bruh.
Van Gundy once claimed that MJ was a con man who used fake friendships to gain a competitive edge over opponents. According to Van Gundy, Jordan would befriend rival players to make them let their guard down, only to dominate them on the court the next game. Jordan didn't take the comment lightly, responding with a 51-point performance against Van Gundy's Knicks and some mid-game trash talk to make sure his message was clear. Now, years later, Van Gundy reflects on the greatness of Michael Jordan during an episode of the Mark Jackson podcast.
The best player in any one game to win it, if you had to put all the marbles to state it, there's a lot of ones that you could go with. But my personal one, I would take Jordan to win one game. I think the combination of athleticism, skill, will was something, people used to ask, like, what was the name of that special, that ESPN thing they did on him what was the name of that, Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
They said, you watched The Last Dance. I said, no, I lived it. And so, because, he got 55, against,
And welcome to Lockbox ENT, where we don't only watch the game, I say we live it.
You're going to learn today.
He had a double nickel coming back off baseball 10 days later against the best defense in basketball, back when the rules were not conducive to offensive play, right? There was no freedom of movement. There was freedom to get your head handed to you if you can't do it. He got 55 against the New York Knicks on the road and hit Winnington when we doubled late with a Luka Doncic special, go up at the last minute, find somebody, and he found Winnington. And so, I've never seen anything quite like that. Guy goes off and plays baseball for 2 years. Hey, I want to play basketball again. 10 days later, he's getting 55 in the Garden again. It's what's happening here? So I would go with him in any one game.
Only 4 players in league.
How old were you when Michael Jordan was able to do that special run from baseball back to the NBA? What were those special memories that you have? Drop them in the comment. We're a community, a family. Each one teach one.
History were teammates with both MJ and LeBron. One of them is the Tar Heel center, Brendan Haywood, who played with Jordan in his rookie season. Here is his take on the GOAT debate.
No, stop. Come on. Yeah, this man is MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He's MVP, first team All Defense, Finals MVP, and leading the league in scoring all in the same year. Only been done 4 times, all MJ.
Many of the
team All Defense, MVP of the regular season, MVP of the Finals, lead the league in scoring. Only been done 4 times. MJ, and MJ.
That's the greatest of all time.
That's how you end the debate with him right there. It was great playing with Mike because I got to see why he was Mike. You think, a lot of times people think great players are great. And for him, it was like, nah, the work ethic is crazy. At 40 years old, 39 years old, he improved everything. He's still in the gym before everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there with Tim Grover lifting early, getting up shots, footwork is impeccable. Had a young dude on our team by the name of Bobby Simmons. Bobby used to all the footwork stuff that MJ would teach him, yo, you read him this way. Like, yeah, when you jab this way, like everything he did was calculated. I was watching when he was teaching Bobby.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't teaching me none of that stuff, but he was teaching Bobby, like, yeah, when you jab, you read this way. Oh, he drops his foot this way, you counter with this. And so I start seeing but this ain't by accident. He's reading your body language. Oh, you drop that top foot, I know I'm going here. That defense rotation, I know I'm getting to this fade. Up and unders, all that. And it's just like seeing how much work he put in, how calculated he was, and then the competitive nature. I mean, he didn't want to lose nothing. The young dudes in the league that were coming into the league grew up watching. They had the jump ball. He could sense it. Our point guard was like, Chris Woody, mate. Yo, see whip. Let me get it early tonight. Young fellas and all. Like, you'll see certain guys, they look.
Hey, man, sometimes when people speak, sometimes you gotta let them cook. My boy was straight cooking, straight hot fire. I'm saying I agree with everything, but I mean, boy, when you got motion, you got the motion.
Hey, yo!
And that's facts.
See, I got this. But because you'll see that young fella looking at the shoes, the leg brace, like looking them up and down. Like, he could tell certain dudes want smoke. Yeah. And then there's certain dudes that's looking around like, oh my God, it's MJ. And MJ's cold-blooded. If you're looking at him like that, he can sense it, and he's going to try to take your heart out.
The story of LeBradford Smith and Michael Jordan is a classic in basketball circles. In short, after a rough shooting night, MJ invented a story about Smith disrespecting him to fuel his competitive fire for their next matchup. It worked, and Jordan delivered a dominant performance. Here's how MJ's Bulls teammate B.J. Armstrong broke it down.
He had just an awful game versus the Washington Bullets. And I think he missed like 18, 19 shots in a row. I was just so impressed with his confidence, Jimmy, that he didn't hesitate. The confidence that this man had, Jimmy, was beyond. But this particular game, after the game, he wasn't happy at all. And he was, normally he's bubbly, he's playing cards, he's this, whatever. He's being MJ. But this night, he was just sitting in the back. So I thought, hey, let me just go check on this guy. And I just said, hey, man, how you doing? You all right? You good? Just checking on you. He was in the back. Everybody else is whatever, doing what they do. And he was like, yeah, I'm good. And I remember he told me, he said, whatever that kid had in the first half, I'm going to have that in the first half. Whatever that kid did in the first game, I'm going to have that in the first half. The confidence to say that to me was like the confidence was there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't coach that. You can't duplicate that.
You can't coach confidence. Can't coach effort either.
Either you have that or not. I was so impressed with the 20th shot when he finally made a shot. Because I remember what he said. He was like, okay, B, I'm good now. This man had a confidence that was just beyond. And he wasn't talking it. He believed it. He believed in himself. He believed in the work he had put in. But more importantly, he just had a self-awareness that you can't imagine. And that's what I admired most about him. And even when you talk to him today, he still has that level of confidence. And it's the funniest thing because now we're all old. But he still has the confidence as a young man. And that is what I give to this generation. Never lose confidence in yourself by the work you put in.
Baron Davis was one of the most electrifying point guards from the 2000s, making a name for himself while playing for the Charlotte Hornets and later for the Golden State Warriors. With his combination of skills, size, and explosiveness, Davis was a walking highlight reel. In an interview for the Draymond Green podcast, he remembers one specific game in which he wasn't the show's main star, but the legendary Michael Jordan put on a show for the ages.
He came into Charlotte and it was like, that was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. There was no camera phones, but it was all kind of camera flashing. It felt like everybody was recording with a camera phone. That's how many cameras was flashing. When
shout out Baron Davis.
I had 32 that night. And in my mind, I was like, damn, bro, like, I'm Michael Jordan tonight. You know what I mean? And then we go on the road and we're playing the Washington Wizards. We're like, man, we about to go in here. We about to pop them again. I'm about to give me another, I'm about to give me another 25, 12. I'm going to do it different on the road. And I watched this dude in the first quarter score 17 points. Oh, he went off. Draymond, I watched.
17 points.
I was not participating, bro. I was so mesmerized. I was guarding T. Lou. Hey.
Is that why he had 17? Hold on, wait a minute.
If you watch the clips, you'll see me. Never. When the coach called a timeout, he like, yo, what the hell y'all doing? Y'all just gonna let this man get cooked? It was Lee Naylor. I said, damn, bro, my bad. I was just watching. Like, I got your help. I was like, man, I got your help. Let me get it. So I guarded him the first time.
Smiling.
I know he going to the fade. So boom, he go to the fade and I'm on top of the fade. He go to fade. I'm like, man, get that shit. And he leaned back like another inch to shoot the ball. Wham.
Short against Baron. 40.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are ditching their car?
Okay, all right. I got this fool. He go to the post again. Well, I know this shit coming. You about to turn to the middle. Oh, up and under, layup. Hey, somebody else get this. I'm going back over here with T. Lou. I'm about to watch. I'm cool. This is not cool. Hey, dude, that's what, and you see somebody like Mike like that and LeBron, like it's the same thing. It's like, be careful because they gonna remember. But that Mike story was like, damn, dude, like I'm just watching him. Like, what kind of cologne? This nigga smell good as shit out here. Whatever it was, Michael Jordan was he was like an enigma, dude. He was like, it was just like.
All right, family, that wraps it up for this video. Until next time, I appreciate you for being here. And no matter what, you are in control of all the great things capable of getting done in your life. All right, I appreciate you for tapping into the channel. Make sure you drop your voice below.